Welcome to the 2021 State of the City Address for the City of Gahanna. For the second year in a row, our State of the City presentation is taking a non-traditional approach. Yet somehow, this year feels much different. Last year, we filmed the State of the City presentation in an empty City Hall, just as the COVID-19 pandemic was taking hold of our city, our state, and our country. Businesses, schools, offices, churches had been shut down and people ordered to stay home. We had no idea what was ahead for us, what it would mean, how long it would last, or what the eventual impact would be for all of us. We lived day by day glued to the TV, waiting for a daily press conference update, thirsting for any and all information on what was happening. There was both fear and great anxiety because of the many unknowns that we were facing. This year, although we are again tasked with presenting a virtual State of the City address due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the environment is much different. As a community, we have faced great adversity over the past year. There is no doubt that we have experienced losses. Lives were lost, businesses never reopened or are still struggling to survive. Friends, families, and students have been isolated, and residents have lost jobs and faced financial hardships. Yet in many ways, we are better as a city for what we have faced. Over the past year, we have seen our city come together in ways unlike ever before. Whether it was neighbor helping neighbor, providing assistance to organizations such as GRIN, Neighborhood Bridges, or Lions Locker, whose volunteers have worked tirelessly to help residents in need, or simply ordering takeout or delivery to support a local favorite family restaurant, we have indeed supported Gahanna together. In September, the city collaborated with 9 of our partner organizations and invited the entire community to participate in the first ever Supporting Gahanna Together Day, an event that was created to help relieve the mental stress and isolation brought on by COVID. These organizations engaged in and supported volunteer activities all over the city that included everything from neighborhood cleanup projects to painting buildings to chalk art. The event was so well received that we now plan to make it an annual event to provide an opportunity for every neighborhood and every resident to come together on one day for a day of community service and community pride. 2020 was a year that no one had planned or could have ever planned. A new mayor, new council, and new city attorney took office on January 2nd of 2020. We all had much hope and excitement for what the year would bring. For the first time in 42 years, the city was looking ahead to a full year of a stronger financial foundation, which would give us the ability to move projects forward, thanks to the residents' support of Issue 12 in May of 2019. Here at City Hall, our initial efforts were focused on building out our team. There were many vacancies to be filled, including several key leadership positions. All in all, 75% of the leadership team at City Hall are new in their positions. The past year has demonstrated to me that we have talented, dedicated, and skilled people in the right positions to effectively lead and serve our community. Less than 75 days after taking office, however, our world changed. From the standpoint of city operations, we immediately readjusted our budget and our plans.
The challenge, I think, without question, was the uncertainty. The concern was not just the depth, but also the duration. We were concerned about how long reserves could sustain the city as well.
As a city, roughly 75% of our revenue is derived from income tax collections. With businesses shut down and people working from home, we had no idea what we would be facing.
Well, I think as 2020 started, we wanted to make sure that we continued the functionings of the city as normally as we could with all of the unknowns. Nobody knew what 2020 was going to look like. Nobody knew what the impact of COVID was going to be, what it meant literally life and death-wise, and what it meant with regard to how business got done.
But as we were facing challenges, so were our residents and our businesses. Once we had secured an internal plan for moving forward to ensure the seamless continuation of services for our city, we focused on creating an overall COVID response to assist our residents and our businesses. Thanks to the leadership at the State House, we subsequently received a share of CARES dollars, and immediately established the Gahanna Cares Assistance Program as a mechanism to provide support for our small businesses and our residents. Through that program, we distributed more than $845,000 back into the Gahanna community to offer support in dealing with COVID.
The word for crisis and word for opportunity in Chinese language is same. That was a crisis. COVID was obviously a crisis, but how can we convert that into opportunity?
Because of our passion to keep people employed and take care of them, in turn, they were really grateful to have a place to come to work every day that cared about their safety and cared about the guest, and they could stand behind the business and be proud to be able to come to work every day.
We lost money like everybody did in 2020. It was definitely not a win financially for us. I love this community, and I love the current leadership. Is incredible. And I just couldn't believe how fast it was. I mean, of all the applications and stuff we did and the things we were offered, I got a response on the CARES Act almost immediately. I mean, they hand-walked me all the way through it, and we had the money really fast, and it was a huge impact. I mean, we were grateful.
67 of our small businesses received grant support as part of this program.
Oh my gosh, I did not know what to think. I mean, 2020 definitely brought so many unique challenges. And then we were shut down for months. And then prom season was not happening. So needless to say, it was a tremendously hard year. That when it came to the Gahanna Cares Act, of all the assistance that we've gotten, it's not just about the money, for me anyway. This is my life. So it was really about the support and the feeling from the community that they want us here. And so that really gave me the strength to keep on going through this last year.
And dozens of our residents were able to remain in their homes after receiving financial support through the program as well.
Survival. What am I going to do? You know, how many people lost their jobs? I was in fear of my age, you know, going out and trying to find another job. And I've had this house for almost 30 years. So I was online at the Gahanna website, and I saw the CARES Act, and I thought, I'm just going to go for it. And I applied. I felt so awful. You know, I hate to ask for help from anybody, but you get to the point where you just don't have a choice.
Gahanna was the first, if not only, Central Ohio suburb to expand the use of its CARES dollars to also provide financial assistance to its residents, and we're very grateful to have had that opportunity.
To have the community support of a community that I've lived in all my life was amazing.
We've just passed the 1-year anniversary of kind of the low or the depth of the pandemic. Much more optimistic about the future than we were 12 months ago.
I truly believe that had it not been for issue 12, we would have a for sale sign in front of City Hall.
I don't know that her comment was necessarily hyperbole. It would have been severe if we did not have the additional support from the Resident Support Initiative of issue 12.
Thanks to the dedicated funds generated from issue 12, we were still able to considerably move the needle as we began to rebuild the foundation for our city.
Thanks to issue 12, we've been able to hire 7 officers over the last about a year and a half. We've been able to add to our administrative support staff to help us reorient toward effective policing in Gahanna. This past year was very challenging for law enforcement. It's challenging for the nation. We were caught up in a number of protests in downtown Columbus and actually protests in our own city. This is a very challenging job. It's a very rewarding one. So a major initiative in terms of capital investment has been the consolidation of our 911 communications center with Mifflin Township and the 7 agencies that the Metropolitan Emergency Communications Center services.
Public Service and Engineering was able to do many large projects in 2020 due to funding from issue 12. One project to note is the biggest street program in the city's history. So the West Side Emergency Sewer Project was a project that came after substantial rain events that the city felt in March and May of last year. We immediately reacted, worked with a consultant to initiate the contract to review our sewers and evaluate them to ensure that they are working as intended.
2020 is a hard year for everybody. With Parks and Recreation, everything that we would typically see and plan for, we had to readjust. Creepside Festival specifically to the Goblin Trail, which was a drive-through event provided for the residents to come and drive through Academy Park and get a feel of Creepside in a safe way. So Senior Center operations, instead of having our doors open, we had a meal program available. Every Friday, a free meal was provided for our senior population. Over 3,000 meals to date have been given.
We began a great deal of work in 2020. In 2021, we will continue to focus on rebuilding the foundation of our city so that we are at best positioned for the future growth and success of our businesses and our residents.
Roads have been underfunded for many years, and through Issue 12, we've been able to accelerate our street program in order to catch up from the years of deferred maintenance. We'll have another record-setting street program where we resurface over 5.9 miles of streets. We will have a sidewalk program rolling out in 2021 that will help residents keep up with sidewalk maintenance, as well as ensure that Gahanna is a walkable community.
The 2021 year, we see a lot of positive momentum for the beginning of the year already. The pools will be opening for this summer, so we're excited to get those gates open and to see our visitors at the pools. Summer camps are available for this summer as well. They will look a little different than what we've seen in the past. However, we do have a safe option for in-person programming for the summer. Big Walnut Trail Section 8 is in the design phase. This is the last section of the Big Walnut Trail, so we're excited to complete the main spine of the Big Walnut through the city of Gahanna. We have 2 playgrounds that will be installed this summer. Headley Park and Woodside Green will both receive new playgrounds. There will be an installation of a splash pad at the Gahanna swimming pool. You'll see that late summer as well.
From an industrial standpoint, the city is seeing a lot of activity in new construction for distribution, warehouse, and manufacturing. And while that doesn't seem super exciting, what it brings is jobs. What we have found throughout the last couple of decades is that in order to have the right business mix, you really need the right residential mix. The Crescent Project is probably one of the ones that will put Gahanna on the map for years to come, because the moment that passed through City Council, we started receiving phone calls for people wanting to know how they can become part of it. One of the hidden jewels in Central Ohio, and by far the heartbeat of the city of Gahanna. The Creekside District is an up-and-coming area that you will not want to miss. The creation of the Creekside Outdoor Refreshment Area, recently passed, has generated renewed interest and will assuredly create some additional vibrancy in the downtown. In addition to that, we are aggressively pursuing companies to locate to the Creekside District. It's got a great vibe, and because of that, we were able to attract a fintech company called Bilgo that'll create 35 to 50 jobs over the next couple of years and become really a new catalytic investment into the Creekside District, because that will surely carry forward as we look to create additional jobs in the district.
As you have heard, many of our projects will be geared toward addressing and strengthening our aging infrastructure to improve the quality of life for our residents and to enhance our appeal as a city for business attraction and business retention. So that we know where we are headed, we will also be creating the roadmap that will guide us as we continue to build community together this year and in years to come. One of our goals was to enhance our communications with our residents, and we are excited to announce 2 projects that will expand our ability to communicate with you. Spring is a season of rebirth, renewal, and regrowth. After a year of navigating the COVID-19 pandemic and battling adversity, we are ready for a season of restoration.
2021 is now underway, and it looks like there's light at the end of the tunnel in terms of the pandemic. Special events are going to return. Community celebrations will return. It'll also give us an opportunity to begin our community engagement strategies again.
I'm just really glad that my business is here. I just can't imagine being anywhere else.
The 2021 year has shown such great momentum already. We can't be more excited about what the rest of this year will bring, and we're excited to get started.
I can't imagine living anywhere else other than Gahanna. I love Gahanna. It's just a great place to be.
That's how I feel about Gahanna. It's a super vibrant. It is set to grow. We are very happy that we selected Gahanna as our headquarters.
We have no doubt that 2021 will be a banner year for us, and it's all based upon our local guests. They've been awesome.
This community is really poised to take off and to make up for some ground. Once we put this behind us, we're off to the races.
Gahanna has remained as strong and as resilient as ever. We have a plan for the future, and we are moving forward. We look forward to the promise of what 2021 will bring and to working with you to build community together.